Hello and welcome to Star Citizen. Now, if you don't know what Star Citizen is, it's a space trading combat mission based universe that you can play around in. Now, this has been a Kickstarter campaign started back in 2012. It was fully funded. In fact, it was very overfunded on the 19th of November 2012. At which point it had over 100 million in crowdfunding, and that's quite an impressive amount. So since then, the developers have been beavering away, and 6 years is coming to a close this November. So yeah, what is the state of the game at the moment? Well, okay, it is getting better. I have picked it up again. I've been keeping an eye on it over those 6 years and played it kind of on and off. But I'm going to introduce you to the options that you've got from the first game. So, the universe. This is the massively multiplayer universe, and I'll actually take you in that and I'll show you a little bit of that and how everything generally works. Star Marine. Star Marine is the first-person shooter combat module. In there you can join online matches with pickup groups, or join them with friends by inviting them into a group and then joining the group, or you can have private matches with just your friends. And there's two modes of combat in there. There is, if we just dive in quick, you have, if I remember rightly, you have last stand and elimination. So there's the multiplayer and the private. Now the multiplayer, it's worth noting that you have leaderboards. Only the multiplayer gives you the leaderboard, so you've got the different game types there. Game types will expand and maps will come into play as time goes on. But like I say, you can invite your friends, customize your loadout, and then you've got the last stand option or elimination. So elimination is person with the most points wins at the end of the game. I think you can. There may be a respawn limit, but when you get shot, you can respawn. But with last stand, it's a capture, point and hold. The two maps of which is Op Station Damien and Echo 11 both have terminals, which are the capture points, and you hack the terminals. And with standard capture points, you have a team points bar as well as your own personal score, and the more points that you hold on to, the quicker the bar fills up. And it's a 1 of 4 rounds, so the winner of however many 4 rounds there are wins overall. And then you have the loadout customization. Worth a mention, all weapons, all armor and all utility items are available for you to choose from. So you can choose from any weapon, any armor, any utility. You don't have to buy them, they're given to you. This way, nobody has a distinct advantage or disadvantage because they've just released a new weapon for you to buy, and some people have brought it and other people can't afford it, and the people who've now got the new weapon are just paneling everybody. That's not happening because all weapons are the same. It's just down to you as a player and your loadout. So, if we go to Arena Commander, this is the space combat module and racing. So you can play single player here, which you can't do in Space Marine, or you can host private games or multiplayer. All multiplayer stuff affects your leaderboard entry. So the Vandal Swarm is one game module, Battle Royale racing, different racing, Squadron Battle. That's quite interesting. I didn't know those existed already. That's all new to me as well. So yeah, so the Vandal Swarm is a wave attack. I quite often use this as a training. And then you've got these bits and pieces. So just a free flight, just to get used to the controls. Pirate Swarm, so you're being attacked by pirates rather than the Vandal Scourge. And just a classic race. The classic race, there are 3 different raceways at the moment. And it is literally a straight race, and some of the ships are built purely for speed. At the moment, the starter ships. You can get some fast ones. You can go down the racing route if you prefer to race, or you can go down the combat route if you really want to with your spaceship. You can change your ship, obviously, and customize the loadout of your ship for whatever it is. So yeah, you can select your ship. That's my ship. So it's one of the pretty standard starter ships, and then you can do absolutely nothing with it by the looks of things. Okay, so it is worth mentioning the game is in alpha. It's currently in alpha 3.14. 3.2 is released in the next month. So yeah, that's due to come. But let's get into the verse and have a quick look around Olisar Station, which is where you start, which is at Crusader, and I'll also quickly dive into the Southland Hangar. Now the Southland Hangar is where you can take a look at your ships. So let's quickly dive in there. As you can see, it's fairly quick on my computer. Right, okay, so the way... this is quite important because this confused me a lot to start off with, because I haven't played the game for a while. Usually the ship was already in the hangar, and it doesn't work that way anymore. What they've done is, if you can see these little blue markers on the floor, maybe? Yeah, like that. You can select what you want to put there, and up should pop my ship. There it is. It's my Aurora LN. There it is. Missing its doors by the looks of it, which is fantastic because I can't actually get in it. This is another one of the game bugs that I've come across every now and again. But yep, that's it. It's got a missile rack on the top, a couple of lasers, several different weapon sections. But then there's other bits and pieces you can put around here. So that's the Southland Hangar, so you can get a look at your ships if you've got more than one. But what we'll do is have a quick look around the verse, because this is just a quick introduction. So into the universe, and I can only start a Crusader at the minute. I want to check my region, so obviously I'm in Europe, so I'll go with the EU. Character customization. Change what your character looks like. Quite a few different bits and pieces: skin tone, face styles, fringes, and that kind of thing. Different haircuts, the usual. Just leave and go to Crusader and visit the location. Okay, so that is a picture of Port Olisar. This is a typical starting place. If you log out elsewhere, you will start there. The ships have beds in them, and at some point you will be able to go to sleep in your ship, and then that's where you'll wake up when you log back into the game. But at the moment, if you go to sleep in your ship and it's in the middle of nowhere, you'll spawn here and your ship will be where you left it, or it'll be lost. But don't worry, because you can, if you buy a game package, you generally get insurance, and you can just file a claim and get your ship back. It's usually not a problem. When you get there, game terminals, the terminals in there get you to claim. When you claim, it usually takes about 5 minutes, so you can have a browse around the station. What else is there to say? You start off with a basic flight suit and a pistol. It's not going to protect you a great deal, so you can buy other weapons and magazines in game, in the universe. It's not like the Star Marine where you're given everything. Here you have to work for it. But the important thing to note about the universe is there's, apart from what you're looking at now, the loading screen, once you're in, there is no loading. You move around from Port Olisar to the landing decks that you can see on the outside. You get in your ship, assuming the doors are on it, and then you can fly off. You can go off to a crash site in space, get out of your spaceship in space, and then carry on looking around. Then once you've done that, you can get back in your ship, go off to a planet, land on a planet, and everything's fine and dandy. So, okay, so we're actually lying down at the moment, so you've pressed H to get up, and someone's posted a combat assist. This is a beacon. Okay, now the frame rate does run very badly on my machine. It's quite old, but it does the thing. Right, so here you got the option to open the door. You press F to get that option. It's really quite different to what it used to be. Originally you just approached it and it just gave you the mouse hover over. It would just give you the option to use the door. Some doors open automatically. It's a bit strange. It's not quite consistent. Right, so this is the ship retrieval console. Again, you press F and you use it. This is called the F menu is referred to as the personal inner thought. It gives you different options depending on what you're looking at. Right, so here I can actually get my ship out of storage. If I've lost my ship because it's gone somewhere, then I can put a claim in for it. I'm not going to do too much with that there. I'm just going to have a look around the station. This is the administration block if you've got missions. This the Moby Glass, the wrist computer, this thing, Moby Glass. This is how you manage your missions with this button down here, just left of center. You can take on these missions and you will get paid to complete them. Some of them are pick up and delivery, so you may have to go to some planet or some derelict space station, go in, pick up a particular package, then get back in your ship and then fly it off to the planet. Maintenance, as you comrades, but if you're the sort of person who likes to get out there and fight his way, there are bounties, and they are by far the best paid jobs. If you don't fancy that, you can go down the cargo route. If we just get rid of the Moby Glass, there are consoles over here where you can do trading and shipping. Now, Port Olisar is also quite useful because it's got the dumpers depot. Here you can buy new modules and bits and pieces, you know, for your ships, shields, and that sort of thing. And also, on the other side, there's the clothing shop if you're particularly vain. But actually, what I'll do is I'll go this way, because on the other side, more importantly, and I think it's probably the thing that you'll want to check out to start off with, is the weapon shop. Now, they're talking about, in the next couple of patches, adding in AI players, so grabbing yourself some weapons is going to be important. And the Custodian SMG, very sturdy, nice little weapon. So for 875 AE, which you earn in the game, you can have one of those. And then don't forget, you will need to buy some ammunition for it. So that's not the right magazine. That's not in it. That's not in it. It's there somewhere on this go. I think it might be that one. Yeah, Custodian SMG magazine. So you need to buy yourself a couple of those for 12 AEU. So, okay, that's the weapons, and then you start off in an undersuit with no armor, and over here is the defense. So this is where you buy defensive armor. I want door open. Open the door. Thank you. Or not, as the case may be. Gee, thanks. Right, so different undersuits if you fancy them. These are the different marine armors. I'm currently wearing the one in the middle, which is the medium armor. It gives me a couple of extra advantages in that it's a 40% damage reduction, and it allows me to carry 2 weapons as well as a pistol, so that's quite useful if we go into the Moby Glass and look at the button here. You can see I've got, actually I'm just wearing a standard helmet, because the reason I did that was because it gives me a better view, and I couldn't afford the helmet because I didn't have enough at the time. It's because once you get the medium armor helmet, it actually impinges on your view. Actually, sort of makes it look like you were looking kind of just like through a letterbox. But weapons gives me the option of a secondary large weapon, so I could have a rifle or an SMG and a sniper rifle, which might be useful, as well as the sidearm. Obviously, you need to equip your spare magazines. Then you have utilities, which are grenades. I haven't brought any grenades. The consumable pen. If you've taken some damage, what you do is you use the consumable pen, and it stops you from bleeding out, because otherwise you'll eventually die. So make sure that you've always got a spare one waiting for you. Okay, so hopefully you found this informative, just to get you started, get you a flavour of it. Now, first, I do need to mention that it is not entirely cheap to get into the game. If you buy a game package, I think the cheapest one is about £48. It's not cheap. When I backed this back in 2012, it only cost me 25 quid. Since then, I've spent another £9 upgrading my bog standard ship to an Aurora LN. It was an Aurora MR, so the chassis is the same, but the loadout's different. It's a much better loadout. It's a better combat ship. The LN is more geared that way. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. Just look for Savvy Gadgetz. And until the next video, see you in the verse.